A Johns Hopkins genetic study concluded that 97.5% of Judaica living in the Zionist settlement known as Israel have no connection to the ancient Hebrews or blood ties to ancient Israel. The study also showed that 80% of Palestinians carry ancient Hebrew DNA and blood. Another study, New York Genome Center, 2021, revealed that the DNA of modern Palestinians matches that of Bronze Age people who lived in the Holy Land around 2500 to 1700 BC. A third study, Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, strongly supports the Khazarian hypothesis, which contradicts the Rhineland hypothesis of the origins of European, Ashkenazi, Jews. The false Rhineland hypothesis claims that European Jews are descendants of Israelite Canaanite tribes, who left Palestine for Europe when the Arabs conquered Palestine in the 7th century. In the 15th century, some of these 50,000 Jews left Germany for the East. Despite being persecuted and denied economic opportunities in Eastern Europe, they somehow multiplied to 8 million by the 20th century. Their incredible increase in numbers likely meant a family of 12 members existed from generation to generation. This ridiculous fable is promoted by some Jewish professors as history. By the way, what happened to the Canaanites, traditional enemies of the Jews because Abraham conquered their homeland, who were supposed to be fellow travelers of the Palestinian Jews? This fable is shattered by the far more credible Khazar hypothesis. That hypothesis states that the Khazars were a confederation of Turkic tribes living north of the Caucasus, between the Black Sea and the Caspian Sea. They were a powerful presence from the 7th to 9th centuries. A warlike people, they frequently raided neighboring lands. When the Khazars were at the peak of their power and influence, they decided to change their religion and converted en masse to Christianity, Islam, or Judaism. They ultimately chose Judaism. Several centuries later, when the Khazars were attacked by Mongol invaders, they rushed to Eastern Europe. Because they practiced Judaism, they were identified as Jews by Eastern Europeans. These Khazar descendants, mostly from Ukraine, Poland, and Russia, founded Zionism, settling, 1918 to 1948, in Palestine with active, but illegal British support, and despite justified opposition from the native Palestinian population. It was these Turkic Khazars who founded the colonial state of Israel in 1948, and have ruled it ever since. Over 50 years ago, author Arthur Kiesler, a Hungarian Jew, put forward the Khazar hypothesis in his best-selling book, The 13th Tribe. There's more, a fourth nail. On November 20, 2022, The Times of Israel published an article about an Israeli DNA study conducted by Professor Shai Carmi. The newspaper quoted Professor Carmi as saying, "Given the absence of DNA sequences for historical Ashkenazi Jews, we attempted to generate ancient DNA dating for this population. Our hope is to fill the gap in our understanding of early Ashkenazi Jewish history." The professor admitted to having created DNA sequences for Israelis. Why not? When you're creating a nation on top of an existing one, creating DNA is easy. Except in special circumstances, Israeli citizens are not allowed to undergo DNA testing. People wonder why. If the conclusions of the above studies are scientifically based, there is no reason to doubt the professionalism of the research and the veracity of their conclusions. This means that since October 7, 2023, the Khazar Turks, Israel, have killed approximately 200,000 Palestinian Jews and injured countless Jewish civilians.